What up, YouTubers? It's Vince Romano 26 here with a long overdue video of how to make an antique scrapbook for all of your vintage paper memorabilia that you have collected. I apologize for not getting this uploaded sooner. It's been a pretty hectic couple of weeks. My work schedule hasn't gotten down. I'm still going to school every day of the week. And I've been doing a lot of thrifting, as many of you have seen from my last haul. So, again, I apologize for the long overdue video, but here it is. So to start off with making an antique scrapbook, be sure to personalize it. And I know this looks really, really gaudy and ugly, but to add to my personal scrapbook or flip through book of antique paper, I decided to add this. This is really, really ugly, disgusting 1970s wallpaper. I know how hideous it is, but it has a very sentimental place in me because this is the wallpaper that is currently downstairs in my foyer, and my grandparents put this up when they first moved here to Maryland. It's going to be 42 years in August. They moved here in August of 1973, so 42 years. And as you know, we have been living here for almost 4 years now. And this is one thing that's still up in the foyer. I know how disgusting and ugly it is, especially in modern day decorating, but there's not one day that goes by where I have not seen this wallpaper. It is the first thing that I see when I first walk into the house. So I decided to add this to my cover for my special book. And now let's open up and I'll show you guys what I've done. I know it looks like a lot, so I apologize for that. I use sheet protectors to protect all of my paper pieces, so that way none of them get ruined if I ever decide to take it to maybe a flea market to give people ideas as to what they should collect when they go to estate sales, thrift stores, flea markets, antique stores or antique shows, that kind of thing, because this really does help you organize all of your stuff. So for many of you who've seen my haul videos, you'll know that I got this really neat little fan. I think it's a pamphlet for the fan. And then I found this at the estate sale, The New Art of Makeup by Max Factor. So definitely, if you have small pieces and you know you can fit more than one piece into a sheet protector, definitely do that. So put all your small stuff in half-cut sheet protectors. It'll save you space and time. This came off of some decals that we bought at one of the flea markets that we go to a lot. Pretty neat Meyercore decals. My dad still has a bunch of them. I just thought the advertisement was pretty cool for it. And then this was something that I actually found behind one of the cabinets in my grandparents' house shortly after my grandmother died. We moved the cabinet and I found this underneath all of the dust and dirt that was underneath it, because as much as my grandmother liked keeping a clean house, there were just some parts of the house that just could not get clean, and dust collected for years and years, and it was just ugh. But that was cool. Cleaned it off, and it's missing a bottom half, but that's okay. I really like the look of the girls, because this is turn of the century. As you can see, this is from 1902, so that was neat. And then just this Coke decal, which I thought was really, really neat. And another tip that I want to give you guys is make sure you can do back and forth, because it'll save you the amount of money you'll be spending on sheet protectors. But because I didn't have any other small pieces that kind of fit this, I decided to just leave it blank. And now if you have pieces like this Coke memorabilia that I'm about to show you, if you can do a front and back, that's great, and that's what I decided to do for this. But if you have something such as this, I think it's, sorry if the glare, it's the notice of the annual meeting, and you have the original envelope with it, definitely keep it intact. And this is from 1929, I just realized that. So definitely keep this intact, and keep the envelope and the actual note together, because that makes it just look really neat. And another tip that I want to give you guys is if you collect vintage paper, holiday paper decor, I guess you can call it, definitely organize it by the time of year. Like, for example, I collect vintage Easter as well as Halloween and Christmas. So I would put Easter first, so I have all 4 of my Easter pieces that I have, or 6, excuse me. And another tip that I want to give you guys is if you can't fit these into sheet protectors, don't be afraid to use some tape and put it on the outside of the sheet protector. As long as it's not going to hit the ring or anything like that, it should be okay. Because as you can see, this does not fit in here, so all I did was use some tape and just taped it right on there. And there's really no issue with it whatsoever. So yeah, make sure you take care of your stuff. And just an FYI to you guys, I did not laminate these. I bought these laminated, so they were $1/4 a piece, which is a great deal. And don't be afraid to look at in estate sales for places like this, or for things like this, excuse me, because this kind of stuff is not made anymore, and it's so much better than crap made today. So again, make sure you organize by time of year. So I've got Easter, and now we're going to get into the Halloween stuff. I've got a lot more Halloween stuff out, and I'll be doing a video on how to organize and declutter your space, especially if you like a lot of stuff like I do. So I organized these. I got my witch and my owl, the haunted house, and my jack-o'-lantern. I got my little ghost, and then I've got my jack-o'-lantern here. And then I got my little witch right here, and I didn't just realize now that one of the ghosts is missing an arm. I paid close to nothing for this, so it's totally okay. And for those of you who just saw my huge estate sale haul, you'll recognize this really neat looking beastal cat in really nice condition, minus a little fold by his ear. Thought he was wicked cool, and I'm so glad that he actually fits into a sheet protector because he's just way too cool. And this is not one of those reproductions from the 70s. I think this is probably from the 50s or 60s. The only issue I have with buying vintage Christmas and other vintage holiday memorabilia is the fact that none of this stuff has years on it, so you have to make a guesstimate or you have to do research on it. But you know, if you pay close to nothing for it like I did for most of my neat stuff, definitely just buy it when you see it or just pick it up. Next, I got some cats, and I mean, these are neat looking. I love them. But the problem is they like to slide, so I actually had to glue them onto the paper, which I really don't know if I regret doing that or not. But as long as I know they're not going to move, I think it should be okay. I got more cats. And now I've got way more Christmas pieces to put into this book if I can fit it in, but I don't know if I can. So I just bought this little guy. He was 85 cents. Thought he was really cute looking, and as many of you know, I really love Christmas, and I love Halloween, I love Easter. So I just thought he would be a great little addition to the book. And another one of my most favorite pieces of paper memorabilia is pinup. I absolutely love pinup from the 40s and 50s because that was the time period of insanely gorgeous blonde bombshells and other blonde bombshells, or other bombshells, excuse me. So we got Jane Mansfield here. Bought this offline for a really good deal, and as many of you guys know, I'm obsessed with Hollywood blondes. And she's one of my #1 favorites, next to Marilyn Monroe, which I'll get to next. And then this was just something I'd never seen before, so I decided to buy it when I saw it. I think it's from the 40s. It's just a pin-up napkin of a naked lady dancing. I think it's either for the New Year. I don't remember exactly what it's for, but when I saw it, I just had to have it because it was just something I'd never seen, and it just adds kitsch to my book. And this next piece that I want to show you is this really neat Marilyn Monroe Lure of the Lace calendar salesman sample. For those of you who saw it was the thrift video that I did before the one that I just made for my antique shop haul. So I bought a bunch of Marilyn calendars, and the total came to about $50 for all of them, so I did pretty well there. I have this one right now, and when I show you how to declutter, I'll show you exactly where I put it. So I bought this. I think this was $12.50. I bought this over a year ago, and it looks great in here. Next is a bunch of pinup that I actually bought from a bunch of calendar stuff that I bought for $1. It was kind of like a grab bag kind of thing. So I bought all this pinup, and I really like the girls in here. I think this is the same girl, just in like different dresses and different styles. Beautiful women. It all came. It was less than probably 10 cents a piece because there was so much in there. There was a bunch of calendars, and I already made my money back, so I was pretty happy about that. And then we got these ones right here. I think this girl's absolutely gorgeous. And this one too. And And then also, this is kind of risque stuff, so I apologize if you're offended from this kind of stuff. But this is, I think these are kind of like, I don't know exactly what you call them, but I know I just bought them. Let's see here. I think these are from, like, maybe a carnival or something. I'm not 100% sure. Either they're like dime store kind of gag gifts, not gag gifts, dime store kind of memorabilia, or just kind of the things you'd go to the carnival and get. I don't remember how much I paid for these. This was before I did haul videos. But I just think they're neat. The most risky one is right here, is the girl in the pasties. So I thought that was pretty nice looking. And this one's got water damage to it, but for the price I paid for it, I didn't really mind paying it. Thought that was neat. A girl in a fishnet stockings. That was definitely a very sexy thing back in the 50s. Or maybe even earlier, 40s. This one was cool because this girl kind of reminds me of a gypsy. Very nice, curvy figure. Nice outfit as well. So yeah, if you have similar items like this, definitely put them together because it adds to the neatness of your book. And the next thing that I want to show you, which many of you have known I really like a lot, is vintage media. And as much as I hate the media today, and as much as I think they were just as obnoxious back in the 50s, I still like it because, you know, it gives me an idea of what it was like to go to a newsstand and get a magazine or something for like 29 cents. This wasn't a full magazine, this was just only a ripped cover, and I know it's probably not worth anything, but I just thought because it had Marilyn on it, it would just add to a great piece to my book, which I actually had hanging up over my Coke trays, which I'll get to you when I show you how to declutter. Then this next one I actually bought, or before I get to this one, I really like the back of this because, I mean, look how curvy we drew women back then. It never ceases to amaze me how much our bodies have changed in 60 plus years. I mean, a lot of things have changed, not just because of the fast food we've been eating, but I mean just medicine and, you know, all that kind of stuff. People were definitely a lot thinner back then. Not everyone, but for the most part, we weren't having an obese problem like we are now. My tip for putting magazines into your book is definitely give it a thumbs up, because magazines, if you don't take care of them, they're just not going to last very long. But the problem is sometimes these magazines are so widthy that they will not fit into sheet protectors, and I'm having an issue with that with one of the magazines that I just bought that I showed you in an antique show haul. So I'm trying to see if I can find sheet protectors in a more, if I can find a more widthy, just to see if I can get them in there. And I thought this was cool. This came with the ripped Maryland magazine cover. And then this next piece that I bought is definitely very, very cool. It's a Merchant's Green Stamps gift catalog. I think I got this for free from a flea market because I bought a microscope kit. So they just gave me this magazine for free, and I really like looking through it because it's neat. You don't get stuff like this anymore. Like, you could get furniture for basically getting gift stamps or green stamps. I tried to look it up on eBay. I couldn't find anything for it, but I don't care. This isn't going for sale. I love this thing. It's just way too cool, and it's 50s, and that's my favorite era, so that's not going anywhere. And one of my other favorite pieces that I found, which came with one of my huge flea market hauls that I did, I think it was last summer, is this Skating Vanities of 1950. It just shows, this is, I think, Albert Vargas. I don't know who exactly made this pinup girl art, but if you look through it, there's a bunch of skating women in here, and just their curves and everything. Just, I love it. And I think the last thing that I'll talk about when it comes to making a vintage scrapbook is personalize it. Make it who you are. Make it with things that you like. And when it comes to organization, pick a category for each of the things that you like to collect, paper-wise, and then stick with it. Like, for example, I've got the small things that fit into the half sheet protectors that I did, and then my Coke memorabilia, and then I've got all of my holiday stuff. So definitely organize it by category. So if you got holiday, like old advertising, if you really like that kind of thing, keep that all together in one place. Don't mix it up because it just makes it not look nice. So definitely don't be afraid to organize, because it's going to help you and whoever you're showing it, and it'll give them an idea of what you really like, and it's not all jumbled up. And for things that are very, very loose, if you don't think it's worth a lot of money, or it isn't worth a lot of money, don't be afraid to glue it to the paper that you put it in, because it'll help keep it in place and it'll make it look neat always. And don't be afraid to buy things that are just a little too big for the sheet protector, because as long as you take care of the book and you're not throwing it all over the place, it should be okay. So yeah, that is everything that I have to give you guys as tips for making your scrapbook for vintage paper memorabilia. If you feel that there's anything that I left out, please leave it in the comment section down below. And I'm also starting a new trend. If any of you guys are interested in adding me as a friend on Facebook, I'll be putting my Facebook link in the right hand corner of the video, so don't be afraid to click that. And also, if you haven't already done so, please remember to hit that subscribe button. And also, I will be putting in the left hand corner of the video, remember to click it right here, my eBay username, so you can save me as an eBay seller. So if there's anything you guys are interested in buying from me, you can just click that link right there and it'll go right to my eBay page. So again, that's everything that I have to tell you about how to make a scrapbook for all of your vintage paper memorabilia. Again, if there's anything you feel that I have left out, please let me know in the comment section below. It will not only help me, but it will help those who are looking to make something like this. So thank you all for watching.